In this next video, we are going to be looking at how to use functions or understanding functions a little better. In our previous unit, we used the auto sum feature up here at on the Home tab in the upper right-hand corner, and that provided a quick and easy function for us, but it didn't provide a whole lot of understanding as to what was going on. And so in this tutorial, we're going to be walking through kind of the understanding of a function and how it can be used. To do that, I would like you, if you haven't already done so, open up Western Region Sales from your file folder, and then I want you to come down here to the Sheets, and we're just going to click on a plus sign here, and we're going to play around on this second sheet to kind of demonstrate to you how you can create functions. The first thing I want you to do is to type or position yourself in A5. In A5, you're going to type an equal sign, because we start all formulas with an equal sign, and you're going to type the letter S. If you don't see what you're looking for right away, I happen to, you may not. If we're looking for the sum function, you could always type the next letter, U, and you should see it in your list of options here. Go ahead and click Sum. That creates a function. You saw that in your auto sum, but if you don't want to use the auto sum, you can certainly create it from scratch. Notice that as I start typing that, it created a set of parentheses, because all functions have a set of parentheses, and then below it, it has kind of a description of what should be in those parentheses. We can either put a range, or we can put individual numbers or individual cells separated by commas. Notice it says put number 1 in, and then put a comma, the next number you want to add, and then a comma, and so on and so forth. So we're going to pretend like we have a series of 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. You would simply type 1, comma, 2, comma, 3. And then you end with a parentheses. Oops, once again, let's make that just a little bit bigger. I'm going to redo that again with it being just a little bit bigger here for you. If we type in equal and we type in sum, once we see the function that we want, we can click on it. Notice that there was a lot of other functions that we could have chosen from. This one had an argument number, the first number, second number. We could put any series of numbers. You could put 43 or 34, comma, 105, comma, 56. And you could keep going if you wanted to, 76. And then once you hit enter, it adds all those numbers together. And that saves you from having to put the plus symbol in between each number or each cell reference that you want to use. Another way that we can enter a function, position yourself just in A3. Here's our formula bar, and right next to the formula text box is an FX. If you click on that, that gives you an option to search for other functions. Notice that when I did that, it automatically put in my equal sign for me. And one of the other functions available to you is the payment function. So I'm going to just type in PMT, and you should find it in some of your financial options. You just simply double click that and it shows up. Now notice, instead of having the little reminder below it, when I use the formula builder over here, it tells me to put in what I want, what the variables that I want. It could either be actual numbers or it could be cell references. We're not going to worry about payments. Just know that when you use the formula builder, it'll ask you a series of questions so that you can kind of figure out what information it needs. For now, go ahead and just close the formula builder. Notice that the formula went away. We don't have anything in A3. At this point, go ahead and click Sheet 1. We're going to start by entering a formula for date and time. You're going to position yourself in B18. And in B18, we're going to click the equal sign. And I want you to start typing today. And when you see it show up down here, just double click it or click it once. And notice that it says equal today and it has in parentheses. But the arguments down here have nothing in the parentheses. That means that you don't have to actually enter anything. Rather, if I just hit enter at this point, it will automatically put in today's date based on the settings of your computer. So if I press enter, it put in 9/19/18. And if I were to open this tomorrow, it would say 9/20/18, etc. Because the function is just going to reference the date according to the computer. Position yourself in B19. No, let's don't do that. I want you to delete that. In B3, let's put today's date. Sorry about that. So we get to try it again. Put in today and press enter. In B18, we're actually going to be using today's date or a date, and we're going to add 30 days to it. This is not a function. This is just going to be a simple formula. We're going to type in equals, and we're going to take the date that we see in B17, and we're simply going to add 30 to it, which means in 30 days, that's when our commission is due. They're closing their sales on February 28th, and 30 days later, they get their commission. If I do a control tilde, you'll see that it accessed this number and added 30 days to it. The last thing that we're going to do is enter some functions using statistical data. If you recall, we had the auto sum button up over here, and we just simply clicked on auto sum, but we also have other functions available, more statistical ones, the average, the count, max, and min. I'm going to kind of use a variety of methods for entering functions. You could always use your function, insert function key up here. You can use your auto sum. You could start typing the functions. You decide how it works best for you, but I will be showing you a couple of different ways. First of all, we are going to average all of the sales from all of the salespeople for the month of January. I'm going to do that by clicking, first starting with your equal sign, and I'm going to type average. And notice it shows up, so I'm just going to click it once. And now it says, what are the numbers you want to average? And we have a sequence there. I could put 1 number, comma, 2 number, comma, 3 number, comma. But the other option that you have available to you is to identify a range. I'm going to select from C6 down to C13. Notice that when I do that, it identified the first cell, put a colon, and then identified the last cell. And it says that whatever cells are in between there, we want to average them. As I press enter, we get an average of 22,323. Now we're going to do something similar for February, the February average, only this time I want you to type equals, or no, don't type equals. We're going to go up here to the auto sum button, and we're going to use our down arrow key and choose average. Sorry about all of my notifications popping up here. And notice that it just looked right above it and said, is this what you want to average? And I'd say, no, that's not what I want to average. I want to average all of the February. So with it highlighted, I just simply select D6 down to D13 and press enter. Now, two more functions that you're going to be using quite a bit in this unit is min and max. Max will allow us to find the largest number within a range, and min will allow us to find the smallest number within a range. Once again, you can use any of these three options here to get them started. I'm going to go ahead and type in equals and type max because I'm looking for the largest one. And in here I can put individual numbers or I can put a range. I'm going to select, or you need to select C6 down to D13. So we want the largest amount of sales from all of the salespeople during the months of January and February. And when I press enter, it identifies 541, which if I take a look here, it looks like Jose was the one who sold the most in January. I'm going to do the same for the smallest amount, except I'm going to use the function min. Equal, and I'm going to type min, shows up there, and now I identify the same range, C6 down to D13 and press enter. That's a brief overview of functions. At this point, go ahead and save your work. You can either exit out or keep it open and start the next video.